Welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. I'm Dan Thomas, joined in the studio today by Craig Burley and Shaka here. So not long now until the domestic seasons kick off across Europe, including, of course, La Liga, where Barcelona are looking to defend their title. But it's Real Madrid who go into the start of the season as favourites, and we welcome a man who we haven't seen here for a very long time. Luis Garcia, being lazy, I could ask you my normal question is, are you surprised that Real Madrid are favourites? But I won't bother, because you obviously will be surprised, because you're a Barcelona man who backed Barcelona last season. So I'll ask you this. Going into the start of the campaign, what is your biggest concern about Barcelona?
Well, I guess, Dan, good to see you and be back on the screen with you guys. I think that once again, we know that Real Madrid, when it starts the season, is going to be favorite. The way, the history that this Real Madrid side started with the new manager, a couple of good new introductions into the team. I think there is still a little bit more to arrive. If not, Real Madrid, it could struggle during the season because it's going to be very long. And I think the depth in the squad that they have at the moment is not going to be enough to challenge for every single competition. But what we saw in the Club World Cup, I think the show was that Xavi is already putting an impression into this team. Is trying to bring something different, something that so far we haven't seen in the Real Madrid side for quite a long time. That is that ability to have the ball and to progress and to create a lot of chances with a lot of pressure in the last third. And that's something new. And for Barcelona, I think the Hansi Flick needs to address once again that high line. I think the last year, in the most important moment, I think that we all remember the game against Inter de Milan. Probably it was the most important one. They struggled so much; they were exposed, and that those kind of moments where you need to understand what is happening, you need to change the way that you are playing and adapt to what you got in front. I think that it's important that they use it in a different way, because playing every single game at the same intensity, at the same tempo, and with that high line, I think at sometimes it's gonna make you pay. So I think the Barcelona with the new incorporations is gonna be there, of course, as every single time. Is a club that is gonna be challenging for every single trophy, but having the pressure of trying to win again and trying to be involved in Champions League for further in the competition to try to reach that final, it's going to put them in danger.
Luis, good. He says, good to see you guys. It's good to be on the screen with you again. We've been here all summer.
What do you mean we? You've had half the summer off,
I don't know, Luis, all summer. Listen, not a lot going on.
No, Luis, don't believe this.
Not a lot.
Now you've turned to Luis for support.
He got a strop during the Club World Cup. Didn't want to talk about that, so that was him gone for that period.
Oh, wait, listen,
not for a week. He's off to London next week for 2 weeks. So don't give me all this. It's me and Shaka at beer. Actually, you went to Colombia. Actually, I've been here.
And you're not well.
At Death's Door. Fighting through it all.
I mean, I was, I was so integral to the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
And Shaka, we went to the big event down in New York. By the way, how the hell? This is bonkers, isn't it? Real Madrid favourites, the bookies, people putting money on. That's how it works. They are not.
No,
they are not. They're not even close. I mean, they were so poor during the Club World Cup. I mean, don't we talk about the Club World Cup? But they had some better performers during it. Fran Garcia was better than they've been. I know.
Fran Garcia, is that your takeaway from the Club World Cup?
Well, he was arguably, along with the youngster who came in and played up front, was arguably their best.
Have you forgot his name?
Yes. I've had 10 days off. What does that tell you? I tell you, Barcelona's biggest fear has to be complacency. It has to be the drop-off.
Yeah.
Because they were so consistent last year in what they did. Luis has mentioned it, the defensive. I'm not going to mention it, right? I'm going to wait till the season starts before I mention how they defended at times, which worked well for them. But can you repeat? And I think that's what all great teams really do. They take what they did the season before that has been very successful. Okay, they fell at that last hurdle in Milan against Inter. But they take that and they don't rest on it. They take it and they get better, and they want to get better, and they want to improve. And I think as we watch La Liga, that's the questions we're going to ask. Has the front three got the same desire to continue to do what they're doing? What's the Lamine Yamal story going to be over the next season or two? Is Rafinha going to be moved position? All these kind of scenarios that may have may affect how the team plays. What we do know, if they continue in the same manner in which they did, then Real Madrid in particular, and possibly Atleti, have got a hell of a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And Xabi Alonso has got a hell of a lot of work to do. And the other thing is, and we should always mention this, and we do, we cannot give and continue to give Simeone a pass for not being able to last the distance, even though he's had success in the past. They should be lasting the distance in the dogfight longer than they have been with the squad they have. And once again, this summer, they have gone out and they have replenished and they have spent money, and they need to, Atletico Madrid this is, they need to be in the fight, and it needs to be a three-dog fight at least.
I thought to the back end of last season, you saw teams at least have a plan as to how they come up against Barcelona, how to counteract that high defensive line. Now, the thing is, Barcelona, given the talent that they have up front, even with that plan, Barcelona could outscore you most weeks. And that's kind of what happened, into being the obvious exception with their quality. You expect that again from the start of this season, that teams are going to know that Hansi Flick is going to play a high line, they're going to have a plan around it. And the question then becomes, can Barcelona repeat as they did last season with how good they were up front? That being said, and while you can make all kinds of arguments about Real Madrid and having a better transfer window, certainly if money spent is any kind of a guide, I still think Real Madrid's big issue is that front two or front three, that Vinicius and Mbappe partnership, how it works or doesn't, more to the point. And while Xabi Alonso knows this club, knows this league, knows the media as well as anybody else, that's a difficult problem to try to navigate. And until Xabi Alonso shows that he can, Barcelona, for me, are decidedly favourites yet again.
And again, they've started the season on their arrogant front foot. I don't know if you saw this, we talked about it last week, they asked for their first game of the season to be moved because of the Club World Cup. I mean, seriously, we have started already. They think they run the show. They think it's all about them. And I mean, correctly, Javier Tebas, who I think must be sick to the back teeth of all this nonsense, is like, no, this is your choice. You go and play in these tournaments. This is when the season starts. We are not here to just revolve everything around Real Madrid, but there is an arrogance. And maybe part of that arrogance was part of the reasons why some of the players were swanning around last year, thinking that the game owed them a favour, while Barcelona were going and rolling their sleeves up and doing what they did best. And I think Florentino Perez and Real Madrid have to get away from that this year. Have to get away from it's the referees, it's it's when the league games are going to, it's when the cup games are, we're not getting enough. They have to get away from that and somehow find a balance that's going to get them consistent results and better performances. And Xabi Alonso, as good and as young and as talented a manager as he is, he really is stepping out of the frying pan at Leverkusen, which is not really much of a frying pan, but he's jumping straight into a fire here. He's jumping straight into it. And your job stock can change quickly, particularly at a club like Real Madrid. If senior players don't toe the line and start showing you a bit of disrespect, as they did to Ancelotti last year, let's be honest about it, when he's having to ask, when you have somebody like Ancelotti having to ask senior players to run, that is not on. So how are they going to treat Xabi Alonso, and how is he going to go about trying to be the best team in La Liga? That's going to be really interesting.
I mean, apart from a lot of things and noise that the media makes about his birthday or whoever, or the summer or whatever decision he makes when he's on his free time, on the pitch, he's been outstanding. He's been the best player of the season. He's done a lot of things that we could not expect that a player at this age could do with that extremely maturity. And he's surrounded by players that is true that they are very young, that they are very talented, but most of them, they got over 100 caps, 100 games for Barcelona. That's something that allowed them to believe that this team is only going to get better and it's going to improve. Now Rashford just arrived. It's something that is going to give extra rest to Rafinha. That last year, in the last couple of months, you could see that it was run off steam. He was a little bit tired, no sharp as we saw him. So that allowed him to rest a little bit. But the rest of the team, it looks exactly the same, but with the extra that now they understand more the system of Hansi Flick. They understand more the philosophy, the idea that the Hansi Flick can try to implement it, and the youth is going to allow them, to play in the same way and with the eager to try to replicate what they did last year. With one more thing, that they got Champions League as a challenge, because for most of them, they haven't been there, and they want to try to win that trophy.
Just a reminder, every single La Liga game will be live on ESPN Plus, including Barcelona's opener away against Mallorca. That is 2 weeks today. I just want to remind you how things work at Manchester United these days with regards to the hierarchy, because we'll be hearing from Ruben Amorim in a moment, and he refers to it. Jim Ratcliffe is the man. He is the co-owner. You've got Berardi, who's coming as CEO. Jason Wilcox is your technical director. And in case you don't know, Ruben Amorim is your manager, and he spoke to Rob Dawson in Chicago.
Ruben, we speak to a lot of the players. They've said it's been a very positive tour. They've talked a lot about the change of culture that they feel is happening here. When you arrived at United, what was the culture like, and what have you done to try and change it?
First of all, I think is one thing that is all about the club. It's not one person that arrives and say we need to change everything. Everything was Omar and Jason. They were aligned about everything we need to change. Of course, the manager is important piece, because if the manager doesn't want, it's really hard. But I feel that we are more organized nowadays. I think everybody knows their places. You know that this is my job. Everyone knows that, and that is looks like a small thing, but this is a big thing. I think we improved in the even the medical department, the nutrition. We are so much better. What we eat, the way we behave on tour, on the pitch, the rules. I think everything is important, because I know that they are not kids, and I don't treat the players like kids. But I think these small rules can help a group to be stronger.
You just said there that you feel like it's been made to feel like it's your job. Do you feel like you've been given the authority to make all those changes you've just made, and that it's your way?
I think all the I don't know, but I think all the managers that come here can change things and can dictate some things around the team. I think that is clear, but the manager cannot do that by yourself, because I cannot change. I cannot contract people. I cannot. There are some things that I don't know, so I need to have top people around me to help me to change the culture. So I think it's not the question of if I have the authority. It's my job. They want that. It's bigger than that. I need all the club in the same direction.
I don't want to dwell too much on last season, but because it was so tough, was there ever a point last season where you thought, oh, I don't know if I can change this?
No, it's not that feeling, but there was most a feeling that I'm disappointing all these people. That was the feeling that made me think what I should do. There was some moments in last year was really hard on me. No, not because I know what to do to change the club, but I'm disappointing these people, and I know that in football, when you lose so many games, it's hard on everybody to believe in one idea and all the changes. There was some moments in the last year that I was really frustrated.
It maybe feels like a long way off, but do you feel like that there are things at this club, if everything was to go right, that this club could still be Premier League, Champions League winners? Do you feel like everything is here for that to happen in the future?
I have no doubts, because there are some things that you cannot buy, and this club have the pedigree, the history, the fans. We have that, so I think that is clear. Then the money, we have money. We have money without the Champions League, so we'll have money and more money in the future, and we are doing everything. And you talk with Omar, and all these guys are making all the strategy to have more money in the future. So that will not be a problem. And then I think it's clearly the culture. If you have a different culture with all that, with all the pedigree, the money, all these things, we can return to our place, and that is clear.
Luis Garcia joins us. We'll be hearing from Luis in a moment. Craig, from a Man United fan, he's saying exactly what I want to hear, isn't he?
Well, in some sense, yes. In another sense, no. Talking about probably don't need it's probably not about new players. It's about these players being better. No, it's about, these players, most of them need to be better, but their better is not good enough to be back in amongst the Champions League and the Premier League. Rob Dawson's talking about Premier League and Champions League. That's not even a thought at the moment. It's not. So there's so much work to do there, and he's, everybody's brighter and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in pre-season, aren't they? Everybody.
Well.
Everybody.
I don't know.
Just look at me. Everybody's positive, mainly, and getting results because the games are not quite as competitive. And listen, if it's not about new players, why have they signed Mbemo and Cunha? And there's probably more going to have to come in. So it is about new players, but it's also about attitude, which I think a lot of their players were very poor in that department, and hence some of them are on what we call the naughty step, whether we agree with that or not. But it's going to be an interesting watch where Man United are, how competitive they're going to be, and how much brighter they are, how much more competitive they are within 90 minutes of a Premier League game against not Liverpool and Arsenal and teams like that, because they're not at that level, not even close. But how are they going to be against the other, 14 or 15 in the Premier League that are average? We're going to find out this season.
I think Amorim is saying all the right things to your point.
Yeah, I thought so as well, Shaka. Shut up, Craig.
Yeah,
But did he not say we don't need new players?
but
Well, what's else he going to say?
Point,
He can't say, I need a whole new squad, this lot of rubbish.
Well, everybody knows that.
Well, but
No,
he can't
but he
say
can't
it.
say
Why
that.
can't you say it?
No.
Why can't you say it? He's
He
already
can't
told what...
go, oh, no,
Listen.
look at all this. Have you seen them? They're
All right,
awful.
well, that's the same guy when he went to Fulham, came out and said, I'd rather play the bus driver than Marcus Rashford. He's not scared about upsetting players. Everybody knows they need players.
Everybody outside of that dressing room, well, everybody knows it, but everybody outside the dressing room has the freedom to say it. I don't think Ruben Amorim has any choice but to believe in this squad of players, or at least say that he believes in this squad of players. And yes, he's made
There's not a man alive believes in this squad of players.
But
if you've watched him play.
as the Manchester United manager, he has to say, he's like, listen, this squad is good enough, all it needed was a culture change, and we're establishing that. That is exactly what any manager in that position would do. Manchester United are also having a good pre-season. It's pre-season, I know. But when you finish 15th, you cannot afford to have a poor pre-season.
Right.
Coming into the season.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Right. All I'm saying is, in terms of turning Manchester United around, terms of turning them around, they had to have a good pre-season. And they're doing that. So they're taking steps in the right direction. Now, again...
Some teams have a good pre-season and then they're crap.
It
really doesn't matter.
I totally
But
understand
imagine they
that.
lost to Bournemouth, they lost to West Ham.
Exactly.
We'd all be sat here piling on. We're not saying they're going to win the league. What we're saying is...
Why would we pile on? It's pre-season. It's like the Club World Cup.
Come on. If West Ham beat them 5-0, you wouldn't be sat here with any sort of a different...
Of
course you would.
Never mind us. Never mind what we have to see. How does that dressing room feel, given they finished last season? Then you go and lose to Bournemouth and lose 5-0 to West Ham as per your example. I don't think that does the team any good at all. Now, everybody knows it's part of the business. Players are going to come and go. You're going to be linked with players. You're going to sell others. That's regardless of whether you finish 15th as Manchester United did or whether you finish top of the league like Liverpool did. And look how much they spent. That's a part of the game. I just think Amorim is doing the best that he can. Now, again, all that being said, for as much praise as I'm putting on Amorim, I still don't think Manchester United are good enough to finish 8th at best. But in terms of what he's doing with what he's got, this has been a very good pre-season for him.
What do you mean what he's doing? What is he doing? You're saying you're praising Amorim. Praising him for what? He was abysmal last year. And these players that he's so-called protecting, they tried to bury him last year. I mean, he could easily have lost his job. Easily. United could have cut him loose.
In terms of this pre-season, I don't think he can do anything more.
No,
he's saying what he has to say, doing what he can with what he's got.
I don't disagree. But these same players almost buried him last year, right? He's got a couple of new ones. And pre-season is pre-season. Yeah, if they lost to whoever I don't even know who they've played. With no interest, right? Because it's pre-season. And yeah, if they'd lost, we'd have talked about it, or you guys would have talked about it, whoever was in talked about it, because there's not a lot else going on. But it doesn't change the narrative. It matters nothing whether you have a bad pre-season or a good pre-season. When the bell goes at the start of the season, That's where it matters. And that's where Ruben Amorim is going to find out if some of these players that were slack-ass last year, if we're being honest, and I'm being nice, and played poorly and almost buried them, we'll find out whether the 2 or 3 new ones can change the attitude. We'll find out.
Manchester United, of course, nowhere near the title odds. When we take a look at who are the favourites, no surprise it is the defending champions who sit top of that list at 7-4, considering what they've done not only last season but in the summer transfer window.
How have they get in there above Newcastle
Because they're Manchester United.
and Aston Villa?
Because they're Manchester United. It's just the name. Why is Real Madrid favourites?
Well, you tell me. You use the word.
I just told you.
No, but it's not
I
a
just
name.
told you.
It's not a name.
Manchester United are a name.
No, but that's not why they're top of a bookies list. You worked in the bookies.
Well, yes, I know, but the Real Madrid are favourites because they're Real Madrid.
But you told me it's because people are putting money on them.
Well, because the bookies, I assume they're going to put money on them. Exactly.
So the bookies assume.
Yes,
that's how it
exactly.
works.
Exactly.
So more clueless people.
Well, yes, that's why the bookies are so rich. Have you met a poor bookie? Right, Luis.
Well, yeah, I have. Yeah, I have met a few.
Have you?
I bet there's a lot of bookies go under. Yeah? Particularly ones that think Man United are better than the other teams I mentioned.
Luis. Liverpool are favourites to win the title.
I agree with that.
Yes, indeed. Well, good. I'm glad you agree with something. Is there any concern that all these new faces could rock the boat?
I think that it's very difficult to try to think that this Liverpool side is not going to play the same way that they play. They're going to show the same intensity that they showed last year, and they're going to be the team to beat. I think that the team is just receiving players who can add something extra. I think that with the signing of Florian Wirtz, I think that he brought something different to the club. I think even when talking around to the people, to the fans, he's a player who kind of bring you those moments of quality and technique that Firmino brought back in the days. Players who can bring something different on the game, and the speed and quality of the players on the side, the intensity and hard work from the players in the middle. But in the end, what you want is someone who can give you an extra. The people say that I pay a ticket to see players make something different. I think that with Florian arriving to Liverpool give you that extra. Not only that you go to see your team win, but also to see a nice football happening on the field. So I think this is one of those special players who is going to give something different to the team, and I'm looking forward to see if he can manage. Because again, and I agree with Craig about the pre-season. Pre-season is to get ready, to put your engine in the right condition for a very long season. But the Premier League is something different, and I know that he has done a great job in the Bundesliga, but he needs to adapt to the intensity, to the friction, to the battle of Premier League, and I'm looking forward to see if he can handle those moments.
There's only one man. There's only one man. Listen, Arne Slot, whatever happens with Liverpool this year, if they don't win the league, disappointing. That's it. Disappointing.
Right.
The guy who's second favourite, he's.
We're not talking about Arsenal.
No, but I'm just saying. You're asking me about Liverpool. I'm just telling you.
I didn't ask you about anything.
The only man under the most pressure, not Ruben Amorim, Mikel Arteta. Trust me. All the pressure on him. Don't worry, son. You'll not be here for very long. You'll be.
That's it.
You don't have to put up with me for that much longer.
Luis, Stevie's not doing cartwheels. If he was, it'd be quite impressive. About the potential signing of Isak, saying that maybe that money could be better spent elsewhere to solidify that defence. Where do you stand on that?
Well, actually, I could agree a little bit. I think that right now, by seeing what you got in front of you, just signing Bird that he could play that different role at the front. Etiqueta is another player who can also play in that position. It's true that it's a long season, that you're going to need goals, and you're going to need players who can make something different up front. But I think that right now the team looks very, very balanced. Maybe a little bit the imbalance at the back, the line of four. I could see that bringing another centre back could help to rest players that for a long season can be in danger of risking an injury, and then you're going to be in trouble. But that's the philosophy of the club at the moment. You can see them that they are focused on strength the front line, even the center of the midfield, and it looks like it could be a player to join. I'm not sure if the price tag. We've been talking about Isak, if you remember, guys, since the moment he was at Real Sociedad, and the development of this player has been incredible, and now is the price tag is really, really high. So I don't know if that price tag is gonna give you the extra that Isaac brings into the team, because in the end, let's not forget, he's surrounded by so much talent that is going to make also difference. So it's not that you are a team that you need a center forward that need score 20, 35 goals. You already have a player like this in your right side, and you got to run a lot of players who can add double figures in your scoreline. So I think that he's, of course, a fantastic player, and of course, he will give you something extra, but I'm not sure he's spending that money on a striker right now is the right fit for Liverpool.
Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Craig and Shaka are here. It is, 5:45 in the morning in Malaysia. Luis Garcia joins us. Luis, welcome back. You've been away for a while. Now, you're in Malaysia because what's your official role with this football club?
I'm the CEO of the Johor Darul Tasim, the JDT in Malaysia.
Look at that. Wow. Fingers pies. There we are.
Why are you surprised?
I'm just saying, that's all. Which club is bigger, Manchester United or Newcastle? And if you're Sesko, who do you pick?
Well, there's not even a discussion.
Shaka is a legend.
It shouldn't be a discussion.
No, there's not a discussion about which is the biggest
club. And also, to that point, there shouldn't be a discussion as to which is the better club to join right now. Given that Manchester United, Newcastle will be playing Champions League, I thought it would be pretty straightforward.
So who's the bigger club, Jack?
Manchester United, the bigger club.
Okay, but you would join Newcastle now.
If I were a player, I would, yeah.
What would you do, Luis?
Honestly, yeah. It's difficult. Even in a tough moment of a top team, what you want is to be in a top team and make a legacy over there. So I will sign for Man United, as you probably well know.
That hurt him
but
to say that.
If I have to go, let's say there is two different teams, no Man United. I will go to Man United because of the history and what it means to play for a team like that one.
Wow.
Champions League, though. Newcastle have Champions League.
They do.
What?
Newcastle have Champions League football.
What? Hey? Craig, you can call out Barca's high line as much as you want, but can you please not compare us to Real Madrid when it comes to complaining? They are leagues above us when it comes to complaining.
I haven't compared Barcelona with Real Madrid when it comes to complaining.
Well, it's not what this person's heard.
Yeah.
Abby's heard differently.
Have you?
I can't imagine you complain about anything. Who has more jobs?
But mind you, did they not complain about something last year?
Yes, they did, yes. It was the timing of a game, and I can't remember which game it was, but they felt they needed more time. Good, right. Who has more jobs, Don or Luis? Luis, you are busy. You've got your fingers in the pie here. Here we are in Malaysia. Luis isn't saying anything. Oh, well, there we are.
Yeah.
Good, right.
I've been around.
Yeah.
I've been around.
And Don's on an inflatable ball somewhere.
Yeah.
That's it.
Don was he's covered the Club World Cup, doing that.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabian League.
Shaka, if you were Ronaldo or Messi, what would you have done different in your career?
What?
If you were Ronaldo or Messi, what would you have done differently in your
Nothing.
career? So if you're like he left Real Madrid during his peak years, would you have stayed, fought to stay? And if you're Messi, would
Who
you?
did? Who left?
Ronaldo.
Which Ronaldo?
Cristiano Ronaldo left Real Madrid to go to Juventus, and he obviously still.
But he's well in his 30s.
Yeah, but he still could have done something at Real Madrid, couldn't he? He still did well at Juventus.
I mean, we'll never know because Ronaldo did it in a cold, wet night in Stoke, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Messi never.
No, and Messi joining PSG, do you think he regrets that, Shaq?
Probably regrets that, but nothing else. No,
How can you have two of the
I don't
greatest
understand
players?
how
can you,
how
I
we
mean, this is
criticise
this, Bob. How
anything
can you have
of
two
it?
of the greatest players that ever played the game with two of the greatest statistical numbers, right?
Yep.
Every year.
Yes.
No. Why would they have regrets?
Well, we all have regrets.
No, we don't, Dan. We have lessons.
Have that printed on a coffee mug. There it is.
Is that in your kitchen? On the wall.
Shaka, we got a lot of questions about Ramsdale for you.
Okay.
Now Ramsdale's joined Newcastle, do you expect him to take over as number one?
Yes, I do, and I thought Howe's interest initially was Trafford for a goalkeeper. I thought was a little bit odd, but then
Why? He's going back to Man City.
Yeah, but they initially Newcastle showed an interest in Trafford, and he goes to City. But all the goalkeepers on their books are well into their 30s, so you understand him wanting somebody younger. You know, I like Ramsey. I think Ramsey is a
Pope,
very
so
good.
what's the deal with Pope then?
It's just that he's in his
Jack
30s.
has turned the page on Pope.
I haven't turned the page on.
Sounds like it.
No, I haven't.
I think
Just
Eddie Howe
saying
has.
that you've got to start looking for what's coming next.
Okay.
If I were Eddie Howe and I knew I wanted another goalkeeper early on, I'd have gone for Kelleher.
Oh, really? Over Ramsdale?
Yeah.
So he's made a mistake by signing Ramsdale.
No, well, Kelleher moved. I just then you look at who's
Well,
left,
two
and
things.
I
Nick
think
Pope
Ramsdale is a good goalkeeper.
Nick Pope was never the best with the ball at his feet.
Right.
Which you
No,
know.
it's Ramsdale.
Which don't steal my thunder. You never butt in before. You can't get a freaking word out of you for an hour. Now you're butting in. So Nick Pope was never the best with the ball at his feet, and neither was Aaron. And that's the reason.
Please do that more often.
That's the reason that Mikel Arteta got rid of Ramsdale at Arsenal.
Good.
Because he wasn't. So it kind of.
You shoehorned Arteta in a lot today.
Well, there's a man under pressure.
This is it. That's the rhetoric.
Well, you're the only man on the planet that's got praise for Ruben Amorim for winning a couple of pre-season games.
Luis, where was
And by the way, if I'm a CEO of a club, I got a better hotel room than that. Honestly, get his room back up. Is he gone?
Oh, dear.
If I'm a CEO, I'm not staying in a 3-star hotel.
Right.
Come on.
Well, we don't know what else is in the room.
It's not a very good room. Money must be tight. Even our budget here, even I'm getting a better room when I go to Wembley.
Yeah, that's because we want you to stay. So you might like it. Where was the strangest place you travelled to for pre-season matches, Louise?
I think the sorry, I think the sorry, I cannot talk because I
That's all right, Louise.
Well, don't go in these cheap rooms.
sorry,
They
sorry.
don't have the proper air system.
Louise in a box. He's running out of oxygen.
I think no to the north.
No,
The
it's all right.
noise is not
Louise.
coming.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, good.
Don't worry.
Look, everyone's really well on this show. How are you the healthiest?
I tell you what, I'm thinking about getting up and doing star jumps now.
Craig, the strangest place you went pre-season?
Went pre-season. We went to Aberystwyth in Wales.
Okay.
Not against anything.
Describe that for people who don't know what that is.
Kind of 50 years behind.
Okay.
And back then, this is with Chelsea, we were staying in the university dorms.
Oh, were you in like really?
I mean, it was basic. Not as basic as what he's in.
No, clearly.
Basic though.
Yeah, you had oxygen.
Yeah, we had airflow. So yeah, we went to Wales and then we did the old-fashioned sand dunes, you know,
Yes.
pre-season, which
Yeah.
never happens now. Up and down the dunes,
Right.
which you saw Shaq. Oh no, that was the show. Shaq
Yeah.
did this in the video on the show with Julian Lawrence.
Yeah. When would we have seen it?
Sorry.
You were saying it as if we saw it casually somewhere else.
Yeah, it was in the show.
Yeah, but then
Live show.
you got to caught yourself. Where were you going to say that we saw
Extra
it?
time.
Oh, extra time. I see.
Yeah, I thought we were sitting at an extra time,
I
then
see.
I realised, and I'm, you know, because I'm quite sharp that way.
Oh, really?
Anyway,
Shaq?
I'm struggling. as well.
Shaq?
We should go down to Exeter.
God, that's down my way.
Your neck of
Yeah,
the woods.
exactly.
That counts as very strange.
People with two heads and
That
all that,
counts as
doesn't
very strange.
Wow. Luis?
Hello.
Are you a lot? Don't.
I'm not going to
I
go
know
there.
that's entertaining. Luis, are you alive?
I'm still alive. The AC, they got the AC too, so strong.
That's all right. You should. I thought you'd have
Is
people.
he getting
Luis,
to my-
what you got to do when it's 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and the
Right,
producer,
let him just answer.
Oh,
Strangest
come
place
on.
you're in a pre-season.
the producer, just
Let him shut up, and then he can go to bed.
in Orense, in the north of Spain, in a very small village, random into the mountains. So, but it was weird because it was a strange hotel, looked like a ghost hotel.
Oh.
And we spent there like 2 weeks, and it wasn't the best one. So
Like
yeah,
a
it was
haunted hotel.
a weird pre-season.
I've never done a show.
Kind of
at
like
5
that, yeah.
I've never done a show at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Shaka did the World Cup once. Well, I say did.
Well,
He was around. Luis, when are you going to do a Visit Spain commercial like Shaka did for Trinidad?
He needs to visit it himself.
That's a good point, actually. And with the fingers that you have in
This
pies,
Spain
Luis.
commercial like Shaka.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'll show you Shaka's commercial. This is
yes.
where he was promoting.
Very high standard, Luis.
There's
he is.
something about being Trinbagonian
Ah, boy, very high
that
standards here, Luis.
touches each of us. That makes us unique. That makes us
look at
proud. That makes us different.
What's unique about
That makes us
standing?
uplift each other.
I was
There's
gazing
an old
out
saying,
into
it takes a
the
village.
blue yonder.
Trinbagonians see themselves as that village.
Oh, brilliant.
For each other, whenever we need it. That's how I feel. That's my experience of Trinidad and Tobago.
I love it.
So we need one you to do. Can we do a Visit Spain or Visit Malaysia now, Luis?
I can do it. Yeah, I can do it easily. You just go to the beach in Barcelona, look at the sea, and start talking about the happiness and the beautiful. Right? I love that.
That's a highly
Didn't
skilled.
take you much time,
Highly
Shaka.
skilled.
Yes,
acting job
I
there.
will do one for
Coming
Scotland.
up. You're going to do one for coming
I'll
up.
do one for Scotland, where, you know, Scottish people just come up and beat me up. As I rubbish the country. I mean, you'll do it. You've got no scruples, have you? I mean, you just...
That was magic.
Anything will come out your mouth
That
for
was
money.
magic.
Okay.
You know, one of the nephews that is over visiting at the moment, he
Yes.
said to me, I was walking around with the dogs this morning, and he says, you know, at work, do you just talk? And I went, yeah, and he went, is that all you do?
Yeah. Well, moan. More than talk.
Well, it's the same thing though, isn't it?
Not necessarily. I think you take talking to that moaning level. Right, there you are. There's Shaq again.
Oh,
Okay,
I tell you
right.
what, magic.
Oh, goodness me. I've no idea. Maybe Luis.
Well, I'll do it.
Ali and Stevie didn't know who Burner Boy is. Does any of Shaka, Craig, or Luis know him?
Of course I know who's Burner Boy.
Oh, okay. Oh, Shaka. What's your favourite song?
I don't know what my favourite song is. Burner Boy's a Nigerian artist. He's got a ton of songs with a couple of Jamaicans. Of course you know who Burner Boy is.
Absolutely no idea.
Oh, there we go. Well, Shaka wins that contest. Final question is for Shaka. You come back from Trinidad with chana,
Yes.
pastels,
Yeah.
tamarind balls,
Yep.
or I don't know how to say this, fuluri?
Pelori.
Fuluri?
So what's your question?
What do you gift to Dan, Craig, and Luis? And what do you keep for yourself? Oh,
Man. I keep the pastels for myself.
pastel.
What?
Which one of those?
Top right.
Top right?
Yeah.
That's a bit of you.
They're a bit like tamales?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes. Luis should get the tamarind balls, bottom left.
Okay. Surely Craig will get the bigger balls to shut him up.
Well, no, I won't say first thing that came to my mind. Dan, I'll give you the Pelori, bottom right. It's got
Okay.
a kind of curry finish
Oh,
to
sounds
it.
nice, yeah.
I'll
Good.
give-
What crap am I getting at the top?
You get the channel, top left. You get the channel, top left.
What is it?
It's
Good choice, Shaka.
chana. What's
You don't even know yourself.
Peas,
It's from your own country. You don't even know.
No, it's called gongo peas here, and they fry it, and then it's
There you are.
add salt and black pepper. We call it chana.
Very salty.
Yeah.
That is it. Luis, thank you very much.
Not gongo, chickpeas. That's
Chickpeas?
Chickpeas.
Thank you.
We call it chana.
There you are, perfect.
you fry it,
Well,
there you
we
go.
got there in the end. Fantastic, that is it. Are you off now until London, or are you back in the show this week?
I'm on Tuesday. I'm on 2 more days before I go to
I'm off
London.
on Tuesday, that's good.
I'm here Tuesday.
Anybody else want
Might have to catch Louise's cough.
Anybody else want to work with me? Tuesday.
Tuesday, everyone.
Tuesday and
cough from
Thursday.
Louise.
We'll be back tomorrow as well. Be sure to join us.